What we got here is an S500 Mercedes Benz. Now, back in the day, this car was very, very expensive and I guess well worth the money. It was a prestigious car. It was a car that says, you know what, look at me. I'm rich and I can drive it and you can't type of car. So let's go ahead and take a look inside this thing. Beautiful car that it is, being the luxurious masterpiece of the $100,000 car era. Of course, nowadays every car costs $100,000, and if you ain't got $100,000 or you can't get a loan to drive them, you're going to be driving that old pickup truck or possibly that old car that barely gets you down the road and to work and back home on time. But back in the day, this was a very luxurious car. So you can see all the beautiful wood grain it's got in it. It's got electronics in it that are now standard issue electronics of today's market. And it's just a beautiful car. I want to show everybody something here because I'm going to tell you a little story about this. Now watch when I shut this door. Watch this. I shut the door. Did you see that? Let me do that one more time. Okay, hold on. Let's do it from here. So when you barely let the door latch, once it latches, you can see it moves. That means it's got an electronic latch in there that will suck the door to an airtight seal. Now what happened up here, we don't know. Looks like crap. There's dents up here. The door doesn't line up. We're not fixing that. That's not what we're looking at today, sir. I was just showing you that, okay? But what I am showing you here is the owner was driving this car and he got into the car, sat down in the seat, and he grabbed the door to shut the door like this. And before he can get his hand out of the door, all right, before he can get his hand out of the door, watch now. Did you see that? It sucked one of his fingers into the door and basically literally cut the finger off. He rushed himself to the hospital. He got there just in time. They sewed his finger back on and he is now okay. But that's a dangerous situation if you got your teenage daughter driving it, or possibly a couple loners that borrow your car, or your kids that might borrow it and take all their friends out. Yeah, you get the idea of what's going on. Dangerous situation. I don't like that shit. I really, really don't. I would rather go back to the old days where you just shut the door and it's done. But we don't live in those days anymore. The guy that owns this car, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I fix this car at least 3 to 4 times a year. And every time I fix it, he always messes it up. He breaks the car, something happens to it, dents it, this, that, and the other. So this time he brought it over and we got a situation. On the fender, what happened is he ran into a pole and kind of slid down a pole in a parking space and flattened the whole fender out. But he's Mr. Smart guy that he is. See, this is how smart people are. I'm going to go buy a used fender in New York City. I'm going to get on eBay and buy a used fender in New York. Well, you go ahead and do that. Now, the bottom of the fender had heavy, heavy surface rust. We went ahead and cleaned that up. But I want everybody to take a look at this right here. All right, in this area right here, I don't even know if you can see it, but it's got a real sharp, it kind of goes like this and then up like that. And it's real sharp. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to flow right into the fender and the door, and it's supposed to be nice and round and curvature. And then if you look at this side, I guess you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's like a square line right here where this got hit, or it actually got hit right here and it buckled this up. So I'm thinking whatever car this came off of, the door got smashed. It got hit in the door. But that's not what we're here for today, because what we are here for today is this dent right here. Now you can see that I've already started working on this. And what I did is I removed the grill, but I didn't realize, and this is what it's all about, this is an aluminum hood. This is an aluminum hood, and you can't use dent pullers on it, electronic dent pullers. You can go ahead and drill holes if you want, and then pull it out, and then fill it all in, which we might do that. I'm thinking about it. But he said don't even do that. He said don't do that, I don't want you to. You know, do what the cheapest route you can go. I'm going to wreck it again. I don't care. So what this is about, it's about how to use your Dyna Glass to save a lot of money and a lot of time and make some money in the process.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Mercedes guy that he is wrecks his car every 2 to 3 times a year. Here's our brand new fender. Did I show you that? I think I did, but look at this. The fender doesn't even line up with the bumper. I'm actually thinking this was an aftermarket fender that was purchased. And then, of course, our buddy Pollock Les bought it thinking it was a factory fender because this looks like shit. That looks like total crap. I don't like that, and I'm not happy with it. We're going to have to figure something out about that because the gap on that fender and bumper look like shit. That wouldn't pass in my shop, but you know, he keeps telling me, look, I don't want it perfect. I don't care about flawless anymore. I'm giving this to my stepdaughter, and this is going to be her car to drive to school. And you know, just fix what you can fix. So you know, that's not part of this. I just wanted to point that out, and you know, I do what people ask me to do. Even though my standards are a little bit higher than that quality, you know, you can only do what the customer pays you to do, and that's about it. So that's what we're doing. So back to this dent right here. Now what I said earlier is that I took the grill off. You can see where I put the 2-inch tape or 1.5-inch tape, and I put it on the front and the back. And the owner specifically said, fix it the cheapest way possible. I don't want to buy a $4,000 hood. I'm not into that. You know, it's an aluminum hood. Let's just fix it. My stepdaughter's probably going to wreck it anyway. And just fix it to make it look, you know, decent. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to use a product called Dyna Glass to do this with, which is a Bondo type substance. Now what Dyna Glass is for versus Bondo, and I've got several videos on this angle, is Dyna Glass is actually made for a big filler like this. And what we're going to do is we are actually going to fill this in because there's no high spots on the outside of it. You see what I'm saying? So when it got hit here, it didn't buckle it up here, it buckled it inside. Now talk about getting lucky. Whatever he hit right here, it just hit right here, and what it hit right next to that grill. It didn't mess the grill up, but it buckled it up where it went inside instead of out. Now, if it would have went out, we would have had, of course, hammered and dollied that and get it back in shape, but everything's real clean. So what we got to do is we got to do a real quick and easy fill job on this, and I'm going to show you how to use your Dyna Glass. So the first thing you want to do is grind all your metal down around your edge, just like you saw. And if you have an item such as a grill or possibly a piece of molding or something in the way, take that off and then wrap that corner or this edge or wherever it is with tape, because the Dyna Glass will not stick to the tape. But what we got to do is we got to get that Dyna Glass behind there. We got to take our Bondo spreader and we got to push that Dyna Glass into the dent. Let's go over and mix some Dyna Glass. We're going to come back over here and then we're going to fill that in and hopefully take care of this problem real quick, real easy, get it in primer, and then go down the road, paint it, and see you later, alligator. Have a nice day till the next time I see you and you wreck your car. Alright, so what we got right here, we got us some Dyna Glass, Bondo brand Dyna Glass, real good stuff. Go into my video archive, Dyna Glass versus Bondo, you're going to see what the difference is. I could go ahead and fill that with Bondo, but the reason I'm not, it's so big of a dent that we're going to use Dyna Glass as our filler product. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Dyna Glass out, and you can kind of see the strands of fiberglass. This is actually made of fiberglass Bondo, And you can see the texture of that is totally different than Bondo. All right, this is not a finished putty, no means at all. This is only for filler. And a lot of people use this. The reason they sell this, you can buy this at Home Depot, and if you're looking to buy some of this, I suggest that's where you go. If you go to a paint and body shop store, to buy this is probably about 35 bucks a quart, whereas you can get it for half price over at Home Depot. And the reason they sell this stuff at Home Depot, can you see that right there, is because they advertise that you can fix fiberglass bathtubs with it. And that's why they sell it there. But go to Home Depot, they sell this stuff half price of your paint and body shop store. Very good deal. So we're going to take our Dyna Glass, and then what we're going to do is, if you look right here, that's blue hardener. We're not using blue hardener with it. What we're going to do though is we're going to come over here into my specialty toolbox, and we're going to go ahead and, do I have any red hardener out over there? I guess I don't. We're going to grab red hardener, and the reason we're going to use red hardener is because if I use the blue hardener with this and mix the blue hardener in, we'll never know if it's mixed right. Does that make sense?
Because the color is so close.
Because the color is so close, all right? And let me neat this up here because I can feel that it's not mixed all the way.
Yeah, that'll separate and get liquidy if you don't.
Well, all the hard, it's just like paint. All the solids go to the bottom, and then the liquids stay at the top. So it's very important to always mix your hardener up
that's
thoroughly.
what I'm saying. If you don't, you open it up and it squirts out all
It's
the
all liquid, yeah. And then the whole tube's around, so be very careful with that situation. So we want to get our hardener all mixed up. That's a good tech tip. Thank you, Minnie, the body shop girl. It's very important to always mix your hardener up along with your Bondo. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get our hardener, and we're going to go ahead and mix red hardener with it, because if we, once again, if we use the blue, it's going to stay green and we won't see it, but when we use red, it turns brown. And then we're going to go ahead and mix our Dyna Glass up just like we were mixing Bondo, and you can see how it turns to a brown. See that? Of course, I think I used a little too much hardener, but that's okay. But you can kind of get the idea of what we're talking about here. See how it's a brownish color now? Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to take our Dyna Glass, once it's all mixed up. A little too much hardener, but we're okay. Come on over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Dyna Glass, and you can see what I'm doing here. I'm pushing it into the dent. Pushing it in. And sometimes you got to hurry up because problems occur when you're doing this, or you put too much hardener in it. And we're not looking for pretty. I don't care about it being pretty. What I do care about though is the filling. I want to fill it up just like a dentist would fill your tooth, or a carpenter is going to fill up a hole with putty, see? And then we're going to get this right here, and we're going to build it up real big, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in a few minutes here, and then I'm going to take my, okay, see, it's starting to get hard on us, so we want to really hurry up. And then I'm going to show you what to do. Okay, it's hard. Okay, it's getting to the point where we can't put any more, which is fine. So, like I said, it's going to look ugly. It's going to be an ugly fill. But what we're going to do, we're going to wait about a minute or so, and we're going to take the grill out. And now what we've done, we went ahead and filled that in. We're going to let that dry for approximately 4 or 5 minutes. And while it's drying, I'm going to take a knife and cut the edges off. So I'll go ahead and take this knife right here, and I'm going to try to follow the body lines. And I'm just going to get some of that bulk out of there that was over the headlight. I'm not taking it all out. Okay, we don't want to take it all out, because inside here, the grill has left an impression of how much we're supposed to take off. So, and we can't see that right now, but what we can do is kind of just trace it out a little bit to where we need to be. And now what we're doing here, we're not working like a dentist, we're working like a cake maker, you might say. We're actually trimming the frosting off the cake. So, is it true that you can eat your cake and have your ice cream too? I don't know. I've never been down that path, and I don't plan on taking it. But I don't believe so. I think if you were going to do that, you'd be fooling yourself and losing something that you really love. So back to the car. So you see that I'm trimming this off, and I'm being real careful because there's a line, like I said, there's a line in here where the grill goes, and I don't want to trim too much off. And if you look up inside there, you can see what I'm talking about. The grill made its own body line, so we need to kind of be real careful trimming that because we don't want to go past where the grill is, if that makes any sense. Now, this is just our filler coat. This is not our finish coat. Remember that. So now we're basically at the point where the Dyna Glass is pretty well dry for what we're going to do next. And what that is what we're going to do next. So we're going to use this tool right here. This is called a cheese grater. And remember I told you that it wasn't dented on the top here? So what we're going to do is we're going to cheese grate that, and we're actually forming it. And this cheese grater sucks. It's not sharp. Let me get another one, bitch. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, this one's a little better, but it's not in. Every now and then you got to change these blades out, and it's time to change these blades out. So we're going to go ahead and grade that, and we're kind of just forming our own shape right now. We're not really, you know, worried about if it's perfect, because once again, this is not the finished. This is not the finished fill on this. This is only the filler, not the finished coat. So you can see how I'm doing that. And then what I'm going to do again, I'm going to take this knife and I'm going to try to, it's still soft enough that I could take this knife and cut this grill out the way I need it, like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece of 36 grit, I'm going to fold it in half, and now I'm going to start sanding that out, because now we're getting close to where the grill is actually sitting. So I don't want to over sand, or over, what can we say, overkill our environment here, you might say. So we're trying to get our grill opening open now. Now before we go any further, I want to set the grill in there and see where we're at. So we're going to take our grill, and it looks like we still have a little more sanding to do. You can see how look how the grill, it's going to fit right up in here. Watch this. See there? Do you see what I'm talking about? Can you see that? All right. So we still got a little bit more sanding to do, and I'm trying to get this done before it hardens up. I'm trying to. See there? You can see how it's really starting to look nice now. Just going to take my knife and easily shave it down. And I'm just shaving it. I'm just shaving it very carefully. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my sandpaper again. And I'm going to mold it. I'm hand molding this section is basically what I'm doing. And the way that I know how much to take off is when I have that grill in there it left an impression around this right here. So we still got a little bit right here. Just like this. And I will say that the harder this gets, the harder it is to, the drier it gets, the harder it is to sand. So, something you might think about if you're doing this. You gotta really work quick with this action. All right, let's go ahead and set our grill in there now. And I got the camera at an angle where you can possibly see it better. And when you put the grill in here now, you can see that, there we go. Okay, you can see kind of what we're talking about here. And now we have molded it to fit. There's a little bit of a high spot right here, but with a little more work, I think we're going to go ahead and get it. All right, now that we basically did 80% of our molding, now we can go ahead and take our tape off of our grill. And I know this video is kind of dragging out, but sometimes that's life. Life drags out. Sometimes you get in a situation where life is just dragging on and you don't know where to turn, and it seems like everything is just stopped in time, but not today. Because if we stop this in time, then we're screwed. Now look real close there what we got. You can see where this is still hanging over the grill just a little bit right here. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and remove the grill, and I'm going to go ahead and repeat my process. I got another piece of 36 grit here, and I'm just going to concentrate on that corner now. But like I said, if you were here, you could feel that there's just a little bit right there where the grill got covered with Bondo, and that's going to be your guideline. See, that's your roadmap to getting this right. So when you can't feel that lip in there no more, then that's telling you that it's done. And all this that I'm doing right here pretty much has to be done in the first 15 or 20 minutes, because the longer you wait, the drier this gets and the harder it is to sand. So, just letting you know. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this rigged up where I don't have to add any more Dyna Glass, because if we over sand, then we're going to have to get our Dyna Glass out and add more to it, and that's kind of what I'm trying not to do, if that makes any sense. But you can see this is a time-consuming job. This is a job. Let me go ahead and put the grill back in. Let's see what it looks like. Now look what we got. You see what's going on here? You see that corner now? Do you see how tight it's fitting? And now you can see the whole grill and it's not being covered up anymore. So that's, whoops, whoa, 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 Jack. Hold on. Okay, we tried to do a special effect, it didn't work. My friend Pete thought he was being smart. But now you can see right there, if you saw me zooming in, you can see I got to sand just a little bit in this corner right here. So we'll set our grill down, take our sandpaper, and then we're just going to sand this area. And it's getting harder to sand because it's drying on us. And it's almost gone. I can still feel it in there. That was a big dent. That was a very, very big dent to fill in with Dyna Glass. All right, let's go ahead and stick it in here one more time, and I think we got it. Okay, that's looking really, really nice. The gap all the way around looks really clean. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my 36 grit and I'm going to sand this and feather it all out. got to get rid of all this right here. And now what I've done in less than 20 minutes is I went ahead and saved the owner close to $4,000 for a new hood and a paint job, because all we got to do now is blend the paint and clear, and made myself a little pocket change in the proceedings of what I'm doing. Where did my knife go? I lost my knife. Son of a bitch. Okay, so we used our Dyna Glass to fill that in. You saw how big the dent was. Let's get that grill back on there. Here's my knife, right there. Okay. And you can see how I molded that in. Now I still got to do a little bit more filler right here, but that's okay. We'll get that under control. And it really came out good. I like the way that it molded. I'm going to go ahead and finish this out using Bondo. And then once I finish that out with Bondo, we're going to go ahead and prime it and paint it. And when we come back, I'm going to show you what the finished product looks like. So always remember, if you got a big giant dent, you don't want to spend a lot of money, or you don't want to buy that new body part, Dyna Glass is the way to go. Fill that dent in. Now, like I said, did I just say that? I think I said that 3 times in a row. If the dent would have went out instead of in when it hit, I would have had to take my hammer and dolly that down, but I don't have to. All I got to do is put a little bit of filler right here to blend that in and round it off. So Dyna Glass is a very good product. Dyna Glass is something that you need in your shop if you're doing body work, and you saw how fast that worked. I want to go ahead and finish this video off by saying they are not paying me to advertise their product. I am doing this out of the goodness, okay, of my heart, to show you how to fix stuff properly. Now, I don't know how somebody else would have done that, but if I would have saw somebody else do something like that in a different style, fashion, or form, I might have possibly watched the whole thing and said, okay, which one's better, this guy's or that guy's? So don't ever think somebody's actually doing something wrong unless they're just total stupid asses. Always watch and listen and learn on as many subjects of the item, or should I say as many items on the subject that you are trying to accomplish. Let me get this done, and possibly this will be in primer today, and we're going to see what it looks like. And now once the car's all put back together, we went ahead and buffed it out. We still got to detail just a little bit, but you can see by doing the body work and using the techniques that I used on this and the materials, it really came out nice. Actually, this side fits a little bit tighter than this side here. So this is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, showing you and telling you you can do it. All it takes is a little positive attitude that can go a long way. We'll see you later. Take it easy, and good luck on all your projects ahead of you.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.